Hi, it's Tara. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I'm going to be taking a Dollar Tree little frame that says BU. It kind of reminds me of like a Valentine theme, but I actually picked it up recently in fall of 2022. I love the little wood beads on here. I also wanted to mention I'm not going to be using this BU. I'm going to be covering it with my little project, my paper crafting project that I'm going to be cutting with my Cricut Joy. But if you wanted to, you could paint the backing and have it like a nice base color, like a chalk paint. This is from the Dollar Tree, I do believe. And then this is the folk art brand that I believe is from Michael's. What I'm actually going to be doing is creating a mandala or mandala, however you pronounce it. And what's really nice about this is you can just pop this right out. It's like kind of like a picture frame in the back. So you just open that up and then you can't peel this off. It's not paper, it's all on there. However, it's easily taken out so we can do this paper craft really nicely. So let's get to cutting on my Cricut Joy and then we're gonna put this together. So I'm going to use my Dollar Tree cutting mat and I'm going to throw these on my Cricut Joy. Okay, medium cardstock selected from my laptop. And then the Cricut Joy just grabs onto the mat, pulls it in, feeds it in. Make sure that the material and the mat and everything is the right size, and then you have to hit go from whatever device you're working from. So I'm going to go ahead and cut everything and we're going to put it all together. And I'm going to be using Elmer's, possibly the extreme glue. I have a tendency to usually use the Craft Bond Extra Strength. Okay, so I have all my pieces cut. I have everything laid out, so I'm going to start with the bottom layer and then glue the next layer on top of the next layer. I did end up painting the background part that was in here, the little insert. This actually just barely covered the surface and the writing underneath was a red, so I did not want to have that red writing somehow stick out above my beautiful little design here. And I am going to take, this is what I glue on with hot glue, or especially when I'm using glue sticks. And as you can see, there's glue residue on here. This is just a cutting mat from the Dollar Tree. I think they come in a pack of 2. So that would be really helpful to anyone. And then if you're curious as to what kind of papers I used, I picked up Recollections little sampler packs in the 4.5 by 7 and 4.5 by 6.5. I also have Park Lane. So these are the papers that I use for using my Cricut Joy. They are just like already the perfect size to just throw on there and not have to pre-cut anything. I did use a piece of scrap black because I didn't have any black little cardstock, but I had scrap, so I was able to make do with that. Okay, so I'm just gonna go through and use my little trusty glue stick and my chalk paint. I used white chalk paint to glue, huh, I've got glue in my hand, so I've got glue on the brain, to glue, oh, I said it again, goodness, to paint my little base sign. I used some chalk paint and it is still drying, so I'm hoping by the time that I am done gluing this together that it will be dry enough. Okay, and then I'm going to just kind of double check here before I glue on the next piece. I've got some little scrap here. So yes, I did do a blue on blue. It's really not easy to see. For whatever reason in Cricut Design Space, well actually I shouldn't say for whatever reason. I think what happened was For some reason, the Cricut Joy just like settings in Cricut Design Space, even if you're using an image that is small enough that would fit on cardstock, that should fit on a mat, it like prompted me to have to use smart material, like the cardstock wasn't big enough, which it was, as you can see. So I just kind of had to lie to my machine, trick it a little bit, sort of, and just tell it that I had smart cardstock sticker paper in there when I actually had just cardstock, 80-pound cardstock. So what ended up happening is my layers did not cut all in the same order. And then I also had like multiple different cardstocks that were different colors of like this. So I only used patterned paper one time, where I had like 3 different patterned papers. I ended up only just using this one patterned paper. It just got really busy. I thought that it would be okay. I did a little Tinkerbell with multiple layers of patterned paper, and I thought it still turned out pretty cute, but this was just like too much. I think there was just too much detailing with all the cutouts and stuff for this particular design. And I'm noticing that I've got some scrap pieces trying to stick on here. So I'm actually making this as a gift for my college age student. He is in college for digital media and production and all the things. Like, so far he's done audio production, and he's done classes on how to like create a logo from scratch. There's a lot of programs that I'm not even familiar with. I'm sure like a lot of, if anybody watches this has a degree or background in graphic design, things that you may use for like graphic design work, I'm sure those programs are very similar to some of the things that he has to use to create like like a logo, like a custom logo or something for a business and things like that. And his passion though is to really do video editing, and he, you know, wants to video and do photography. And so that is why I've got this little it's perfect because it has the little like movie strip background for like film or movie or whatever, and then the camera. So I just thought that it would be a perfect, he can maybe hang it up in his current apartment, or when he gets his own place once he graduates. So we'll see, but I know he'll appreciate it, because I know how much time it takes him to do all of his editing on all of his projects. We very much understand each other, because it takes a long time, depending on how you go about them, to edit these YouTube videos that I present as well. So like, I totally get it when he has a project that takes him 10 hours, because just one of these simple YouTube videos, you know, filming can vary on time, how much time it takes me to do the filming, but then the editing can take, you know, up to 4, 8 hours, 10 hours. It just depends on, you know, how much filming I did, how much splicing and cutting I've got to do. So anyways, that's one of the reasons why there's like the super thanks button on there. For small creators, especially like myself, where I'm not really making money doing this. I'm just, you know, doing it because I love it. But if anybody watches this and you see the super thanks button and you just feel like I really helped you in some way, inspiring you just to create a craft or helped you learn something, and you have the extra means, you can always just drop me a little super thanks. and it's just like a little heart, and you can just like donate $1 or something like that just to help me keep up on my craft supplies to continue creating videos. And I appreciate anybody. I will definitely give shout outs to anyone that gives me any super thanks. But it's absolutely not necessary. You know, I do this because I enjoy it, and it, you know, brings me joy. It brings me joy to craft and create. It can be therapeutic. There are times, of course, that we just have to get something done, and we feel the pressure to, you know, get like a birthday gift done, and we're under the wire to get her done, and it can be a little bit stressful to craft and create sometimes. It's not always sunshine and rainbows and butterflies, but for the most part it is. This just didn't cut very well. Oops. Okay. I'm thinking that's looking pretty decent. And then my final layer is this black layer that I'm going to throw on here. And then don't forget, I'm going to fire up my hot glue gun once my chalk paint is dry on the base that this is going to go on. And then I'm going to hot glue this to the base. And speaking of hot glue, I purchased an $8 hot glue gun from Michaels, and it doesn't require to be plugged in. It's not necessarily rechargeable, but it requires batteries, and it is so handy to not have to worry about plugging it in. I can take it, move it wherever I need for it to be able to use it to complete the project that I'm working on. So I'm really digging my $8 glue gun from Michaels. So if you haven't checked it out, I made a video comparing my hot glue gun that has a cord on it with my $8 hot glue gun from Michaels. And the reason why I did the comparison wasn't necessarily the hot glue guns themselves, but I used Cricut's hot glue that is supposed to decrease the amount of like string and bits that come, and you'll just have to check it out. I'm not even gonna spoil it. If you're curious, go check out that video. It's an $8 hot glue gun plus Cricut hot glue is what the video picture it looks like or whatever. And that's looking pretty good. So I'm gonna take this and I'm going to glue it to my chalk paint. So let's do that next. Okay, so I have my hot glue gun fired up over here. This is my $8 one. It's so cute. Look at that, how it's got the little LED green light on there letting me know that it is on. And this is the painted, I just did, you know, a little coat. I've got brush marks on there. It's totally fine. This is for my son. He's not gonna care that there's brush strokes in the background. And then I'm gonna put some hot glue on it and just kind of center it on here. Let's see. I don't know, I think actually because the hot glue dries so quickly and I don't want to place this on here and it not be in the perfectly right spot, that I am just gonna lift this up and put some hot glue down. Okay. Okay, and then I'm just gonna lift up this other side and put some hot glue. Actually, I'm just gonna put a big blob there and hold it down. I love using these little dollar store cutting mats to glue on. You can also clean them off, obviously. I haven't cleaned mine off recently. Oop, and I just noticed that my little black piece here is a little loose. So I'm gonna add a little of my glue stick glue. Okay, so this is looking good, you guys. What do you think? I hope that, you know, if you don't do the exact projects that I do, that this at least brings some inspiration to you. Okay, I'm gonna turn off my hot glue gun. Okay, and so here is the frame that we started out with. Okay, so I'm going to take this. I'm just going to take my little frame here, flip this like that, and then I'm gonna push down the little picture frame holders, or whatever you want to call them, the little notches. And check this out! How cute is this? And then it's got this nice little hanger on top. I love it! Love, love, love this. Oh my gosh, how cool did this turn out? And I just love the little wood beads. Love it. If you guys found inspiration, make sure you hit the like button. And as always, until next time, check out another one of my videos. And if you aren't on a mobile device that is showing you another video up in my screen, go ahead to Tara Howell on YouTube and look for my crafting and creating videos to help inspire you. Thank you so much.